How's it going, everyone? Jacob here. Today, I have Blake from Yamaha. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we have the Yamaha CK61 and 88 stage keyboards. And
That's
you're
right.
going to tell us all about them.
So yeah, CK88, this is 88 note weighted and graded action for the pianist. And then the CK61 has what's called an FSB, semi-weighted synth style action, great for keyboardists and organists. The whole idea about this instrument is to create a stage keyboard that has some great sounds on board, has a cool one-to-one interface, so it's very fast to get to parameters that you want to change quickly without diving into a menu. So it keeps you kind of in the music and out of the menu, which is always good, right?
I love that, yeah.
And then there's a lot of really cool versatile functions about this instrument that make it really, truly unique. It can run on batteries, for one thing, so you can put in 8 AA batteries, you get about 4 or 5 hours of time. It has an A to D input. Right here on the front, you press the input button and you have a stereo A to D input that you can change to insertion effects, the input EQ and a noise gate. So you can plug in a microphone, route it through effects, or a guitarist. It's very cool that way. It has Bluetooth audio connectivity, which is very cool as well. So you can connect to a Bluetooth device, and it has a very cool thing is built-in speakers. So the fact it runs on batteries, the fact it has an A to D input, it has all these effects, it makes it kind of a really cool any place, anytime instrument. So people that are like street performers, or maybe you're a touring musician and you want to just do a quick rehearsal in a hotel room, but you don't want to drag in a whole PA system, you can sit down maybe with a singer or a guitar, run through effects, and rehearse right in the hotel room without, plugging it in, because it runs on batteries too.
Yeah,
so.
It's very cool. I know when I sat down to play that one, because I did when we first started today, we have speakers in here that are helping us hear too, but I was like, am I hearing it from under this thing? And I was surprised at how good it sounded. And then you were telling me you can actually change the speaker setting depending on the environment. So you changed it to table, and then all of a sudden it had like a different sound.
Yeah, if you have it, like I say, if you put it up on a table, which a lot of people are going to do that, you can put it right on a desk. You just go into a menu system in here, and you just find where it says System, Speaker, and then you set the speaker EQ there. So speaker EQ right now is normal. That's the one that you want if you're on a stand. But if you put it on a table, and it just changes the bass response, and it's dramatic. It really sounds different when you have it on the table and you turn it to table. It's like, wow, there's so much more bass, and it just sounds good, Let's talk about the front panel. Again, the whole idea is this one-to-one interface, meaning you have single control for a single function, makes it very easy. Over here, we have an organ section. Now, to get to the organ section, you'd have to select an organ, but you have all the drawbars right here, right? 8 or 9 drawbars. You have vibrato chorus, you have percussion, so it has the stuff that you would expect on a vintage drawbar organ. It is basically the Reface YC, I should say that. It is a Reface YC engine in here. However, they did add some additional pipe organs in this as well, which is very cool for if you're church service or anything like. It's got about 6 or 7 different pipe organ settings for different uses. So organ section. Right here in the middle is kind of the heart and soul of the CK. It's the live set area. This is where you select up to 3 sounds per live set. So a live set, 160 of these. They're all user, so you can change them how you want. And it just allows you to have instant recall of panel settings. Really fast right there. Going over here, you have the part controls, which are here. Filter, EG, drive, and 2 effects. And you'll notice that when I turn on a part, this is lit up in blue. If I select another part, now that turns green, so you can see exactly what you're editing. The third one here, there's a kind of a pink rose color there, so I can see that the drive is on here. If I go to part A, I can turn off the drive, go back to, oh look, it's set up. So if you want to edit everything simultaneously, by the way, just press all 3 and everything turns white. So then you can run the filter or whatever for the entire live set.
That's very cool. 3
parts per live set. I should say also, since I have it right here, you have different ways you can split and layer this keyboard. It defaults to layer, but when I touch split, you can see in the front there, it says A is now in the left, and then B and C is over on the right. If I hit split again, there's layer A, B, C. There's A plus B with C in the top. So A, B, left-hand layer, C in the top. And then the last one is a triple split, A, B, C, split 3 ways on the keyboard. And then to set the split point, you just set split point, and here I have the dual split point. So I would select this one here and maybe put it here, or G sharp, and then I hit it again, and I hit that split point, maybe D sharp. So now I have this 3-way split going here.
Yeah, that's very cool. I mean, so obviously I I demo a lot of keyboards here, and often when I'm trying to do the split stuff, some of them are less intuitive.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll be honest and say I haven't pressed any of those buttons and messed with the split, but I just figured it out like that.
And that's the point.
It's like, it just makes sense because I see ABC. Oh, I know I have ABC because there's 3 faders, and right here,
exactly.
that was really easy to do.
Yeah, and you saw that too, the fact that each part has its own volume control, so you can quickly change things. Again,
I love that.
That's that one-to-one interface. The things that you really need access to are right there.
Yeah.
I should say this, there's also, you'll see underneath the 3 parts there, you have input. So that's the A to D input that's built into this instrument. It's not just a pass through like an aux input, which would be just take it right to the output. This actually runs it into an A to D conversion and then routes it through 2 different effects right here. You have 34 different effects, and they range anywhere. You can see them right on the front panel. Chorus, flanger, phaser, tremolo, rotary, wah, delay, and then there's one that's others. Others is stuff like a ring modulator, a slicer, a lo-fi that does bit reduction, so you can do some pretty trippy things with, you know, special effects. Nice. You also have an input EQ that's a 3-band sweepable EQ for the A to D input, and then a noise gate. So if you have a guitar player that when they release their hands from the strings, you get a little bit the E. Well, the noise gate, you can set the noise gate so it eliminates that until they play a note. You know?
Right.
So
got it.
Built-in A to D input. That's pretty slick.
Very slick.
You know?
Yeah.
One more thing I'll say, since we're talking about ins and outs and stuff, it's a USB audio and MIDI interface. So you can connect to a computer or an iOS device, and you can record directly audio, stereo audio through a DAW, and then you can hear it back because it's in and out. Another cool thing about this that I used it for, in fact, I think on one of the tunes I did there, both those tunes, I think I used Groove Agent, which is a Steinberg drum plugin. And I used this instrument to do all the drum programming. So I'm playing the virtual instrument, hearing the monitor. You can actually monitor the DAW through these speakers if you need to.
Nice.
I was using my studio monitors, but I can, in a hotel room, do it that way. So it works as a controller for virtual instruments that you can also hear the audio coming back from the virtual instrument.
It's like your audio interface and your studio monitors.
Yeah, I mean,
built into a keyboard.
Exactly. Same exact thing. You know, I was talking about this earlier. I kind of look at this like a pocket tool, you know, where pocket tools are cool. You have like a little, you know, it all fits in your pocket. It's got pliers and a screwdriver. And it's not to say I don't have bigger tools at home, but I really need that pocket tool for when I'm going out and I'm just away from wherever I am to do some work. That's what this is like. I can go anywhere with this, with all of the features, battery power, Bluetooth audio. Just having another Bluetooth source to play music through, that can work as that. So let's play some sounds. In fact, I'll let you go ahead and hit the exit button. So your first one you have there, that one is the CFX Reflections. These are sounds that I created. And by the way, I should say this, all these sounds will be available for anybody for free on Soundmondo. So we have this cool social sound sharing site called Soundmondo that supports all of our instruments. Soundmondo is just a place where you can go up, you use the Google Chrome browser on a PC or a Macintosh. You got to use that because it has a MIDI API or an audio API so it connects without using a driver. So connect to that, you have to set up an account and it'll recognize that you have a CK and you can download all 8 of the sounds we're going to show here for free. So just wanted to say that. Yeah. So the first one is CFX Reflections, and I'm going to let you be the player because you're such a great player. So.
Obviously the sounds are great, but the keypad feels good.
Yes, yeah, that's a great hammer.
Yeah.
So the other thing that while you're playing this, let's say you want to add a pad. If you just press the B on button, now you've just had a pad. And you notice that it selected that automatically. So if you needed to make it louder or you needed to change the filter, it's all right in front of you.
Right. So.
Yep. And there's 2 pads now.
Right. Yeah. Yes, you can pitch bend the piano.
Of course.
Of course.
And you can set independent pitch bends for each one. So if
you can turn
you
that.
can have it all. Yeah, you can
Right.
do one pitch bend where one will go up a fifth, up a third. So you can do these cool or whatever. You
can make chords.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
So
what a
let's go to
great
the next sound.
Yeah.
The next sound I just call tines and reeds because that's what it is. It's electric pianos.
That key off
Yeah, it's got a
noise
little-
is what it's that little clink that happens at the end. More sharp 11s for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, beautiful.
At a glance, I'll let you answer this question. On the front panel, you can see that there's 2 effects per part. Which effect is on and which effect is off?
We got effect 2 there.
Yeah, there you go. Now it's on.
Right.
So when you hit that button, you'll notice that was a dual phaser.
Yeah.
So now when you play it, you'll have your weather report phaser sound. Now when you turn that on, you also are selecting that sound or that effect. So you have depth and rate control. So if you want to change how much, like in this sound, if I want to increase the depth and rate, pull it in however much you want. As you move the type button, you can change through the different phasers. So that was dual phaser. There's also max 90, which is a VCM effect, which virtual circuitry modeling. And then there's one called small phaser. I usually use small phaser. I use the dual phaser on this one. So, and in this sound too, if you turn off the A sound and then turn on B, you'll notice that lights up and it's WR bright. So there's your reed style.
Some drive on there.
Yep. There you go.
Oh man. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
I
I dig using the rotary speaker on the electric piano.
Yeah,
quite
me
a lot.
too.
It's kind of a cool.
Yeah.
So you have 2 of those. The kind of a cleaner rotary is what A is, and B is the one that has a little bit more drive in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, so you think about it, when you have these parts, all 3 going,
Yeah.
every part has its own dual effect processor. So that's 6 simultaneous effects. Plus you have the input effects as well. And then I didn't talk about over here, you have the master effects, a delay and a reverb. So those everything routes through that. And you can turn that on and off as well with just a press of a button and change the type as well.
Very nice.
So there's that sound.
Yeah.
Number 3, this is a cool one, string section sound.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and hit that.
So more kind of high, hypey one, and then, yeah.
Okay, now, when you're on that sound, at a dramatic moment, turn on part C. That adds a horn section.
Okay, so yeah. Very nice. Nice.
Yeah, all with a touch of a button. Adding bringing the horns in
Right.
at a dramatic moment. And man, the strings in here. That's just a few of them.
You could obviously have those mapped to a expression pedal if you
Oh
want.
yeah, and
So you can
individually
fade sounds in and out.
Absolutely, yeah. Basically how the instrument works, there's settings. That's just for the live set. So anything that's under settings is saved per live set. Menu is a global setup. So that's where you'd set up, like the A to D input. You want to have either a mic or a line input. So you set that for what you're using. That would be set in the menu. So settings for live set settings, menu for global settings. So let's say I want to assign this to control the reverb send right here. Right. You go into the settings, because this is a live set settings, go to controllers, and then go to mod wheel assign. So right now it's set to delay depth, but if I want to set it to reverb, how do I set that? You just grab the thing that you want to set it to and it sets it to it. Right. And now it's set just like, so if I want to set it to cutoff frequency for whatever reason, now it's set to cutoff frequency. So it's really easy to map any of the front panel settings to the controllers. And it's the same way with the foot controllers. So if I want to use that to control volume, or if I want to control effect or whatever, it's really simple to assign it. And then when I have it set how I want it, I just hit store and it stores to the live set. Let's go to live set 4.
Nice.
That's a horn section. The thing I like about this too is that I put the Sforzando brass in part 3.
Yeah.
So as you hit it, it'll do the. So you have a little bit of motion if you hold a note.
Nice.
Gives it a little bit of something.
Something,
you got to hold it.
Horns, big horns.
So 5, hit 5 there. So here's your organ. The cool thing about this is that you can I set this up so it's like a dual manual setup here. Right. So you have a bass down in the low end. Mm-hmm. You have I did what's that called? Half fat. I think that's what they call that setting. The three down on either side.
Yep.
So I have that set up here, but I could add a third part. So if I wanted to add another organ on top or a synth sound or whatever, you still have 3 parts. But that's how you'd set up a dual manual situation. And yeah, check it out. Oh, rotary speaker control, right over here. You have the speed right here, and then you can actually stop the rotary too.
Right where it should be.
Yep.
There's my split.
So you want to change the split? Super easy. Just hit split point and change it to wherever you want it.
All right. Yep, there it is.
So again, that's the Reface YC engine that's in there. So you have all the H, I think there's F model, which is one of those transistor combo organs. F for Forza. Anyway, let's see, there's V type, which is more of that English style. There's A type, which is a Japanese transistor organ of a certain variety. And then the Y type, I can say that one, that's the Yamaha one. So we had the YC25, YC45 from the early 70s. That's what that one's about. So you have those organs. And then, in addition to that, in fact, we should just do this. Go ahead and turn off the A, and then use this either the value button or the knob here, and you can go up past where it says H, V, F, A. Then you have all the pipe organs.
Yeah.
So there's different pipe organ setups in here. There's grand concert organ, and we also have those saved as live sets, but you have a lot of different things for church organs as well, pipe organs and so on. So.
I love messing.
I like that one.
See, yeah, of course. Who doesn't want that?
I want that. That's great. Yeah.
Unnecessary modulations of classic music
and altered chords.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Okay, so there's organs in here. Now
Sounds
press
great.
6.
6.
Guitars. So here's a steel string guitar.
And the reverb sounds nice, but
If you hit B, that'll add a 60s clean. It's going through a little bit of distortion, so it adds guitar, electric guitar to that. The last one is a pad, so you can put a pad underneath the two guitars. Seven, this one has a left-hand split with a synth bass that has portamento on it. And I should point this out too. On this sound, A, you'll notice right next to, right under the knob in the center here, there's mono and unison. So you have mono setup control right here, and then I also have a little bit of finger portamento on this sound too. So I have that happening here. But you also have this cool unison effect. I'll turn it off for a second. So what the unison does is it doubles, and it does it in a few different ways. One of them is just a multi, so it just kind of detunes the single sound. One of them is subharmonic, so it drops the harmonic to a low. And then the other one does upper harmonic, so it does an octave up. So if I hit unison, right now it's subharmonic. Here's with it off. Here's with on. So I got a little. It's almost like the super saw and on the CS80. It had that kind of where you could really. And then you have different types. So that one, there's multi-layer. So here it's a little detuned now.
Yep.
Here's harmonic, so it's up, right? And then subharmonics. I like this one for that one. So that's another cool thing about this is that it has some cool mono modes that allow you to do some pretty cool synth stuff.
Yeah.
And this sound, I mean. But yeah, play it. I love the sound.
Oh yeah.
Now with this one, I also, there's another cool feature on this keyboard is a thing called audio trigger.
Okay.
So what you can do is you can put an audio file on a flash drive, and then you can associate that to be played in a few different ways. You can start and stop it, or you can start it and then it'll restart wherever you stopped it. But this is set for an audio trigger for the very top, and it just has a cool beat. So if you hit that, now you can funk out with that. Yeah. But that's playing a little loop.
Oh yeah.
And then hit it again and turn off. Yeah, that could be a full tune if you wanted it to be.
Yep.
It could be just a loop. It's a linear file, so it doesn't really do straight up looping, but you can set it up for however long you want to play it. That's one way to do backing tracks on it, is to associate it that way. So there you go. And then the last one in here, I wanted to show you some of the cool lead sounds in here.
Yeah.
This is my Dimension lead sound. So and there's actually 3 of these in here. So when you turn it on, it'll add another sound and then one a fifth below it, but it's all set up for monophonic playing. So check this one out. I think this one
very crazy.
has a groove on it too, but I want to show you something else on the on that sound here. Let's take a look at the effects, because I do want to show real quick the different special effect things. So in effect 2, if you go down using this to the others category, there's a ring modulator. So effect 2. Whatever there.
Nice.
You have a slicer. So it does this kind of cool motion. You have the low pass filter. So this is actually another filter if you want a second one, but it also has a high pass filter. So high pass filter, and then lo-fi. So I do a lot of stuff with these sounds using the delay effect. You turn on the delay, set the type to digital delay, turn the depth all the way up, turn the time all the way up, and then you can kind of do this. And that's just the beginning. So you keep adding stuff. So it's pretty cool what you can do as far as the synth stuff and the effect stuff with the CK. CK covers a lot of ground, man.
Sure does.
You know. The last thing I would say, there is a cool app that we have that's called Reckon Share. So you can connect an iOS device to this too. You get either the lightning cable to USB. So I guess they call that a Luca, the lightning to USB camera adapter, I believe is what it was originally called. But it just connects it to USB. So I connect the iPhone to this, and then I can record directly into this Record and Share app. And it's pretty cool how it works, because you can pull any sound from or any tune from your iTunes library. It automatically will find the tempo for most songs. You can then slow tempo down without changing the pitch, so it's great for learning. And then you can record your own track over the top of the audio track. And then the share part is you can share it out to social, so you can put it on Insta or wherever you want it. So that's a cool free app that works with CK that is awesome as well. The last thing I kind of want to point out about this instrument is there's a few other cool pro level stuff in this instrument. So I'm in the live set settings now under function. So first of all, you can change the part color, which is kind of cool. You have 12 different colors to set. You have the audio trigger, we already showed that. External keyboard is a very cool feature. It's something that we have on the YC. And what external keyboard allows me to do is, let's say I bought the YC61, or the CK61 rather. And I have my own weighted keyboard that I love using, but I really liked a few of the sounds in here, and I really want to be able to play the sounds of the instrument, maybe just one of the parts even, from my bottom keyboard. How do I set that up? That's what the external keyboard does. It allows you to set up per part whether or not it's being played. Right now it's external, internal, so if I connected just a single MIDI cable directly to this, it's playing both. But if I set it to external only, it's only going to play that A sound from the bottom keyboard, but the B and C sound are totally from this sound, but it won't play it from this keyboard. So it's a cool way to set up two keyboards with this instrument, and it works the same way on the YC as well. So it's a really interesting way to approach this instrument. Another thing in here is just below that is master keyboard. When I turn on the mode switch for per live set, I now have a 4-zone master keyboard that will send out program change, controller information when I hit that live set. So a rack of gear, I can configure it 4 zones with this single keyboard. So it has some pretty cool pro features as well for controlling and working with other pieces of gear. Because we know, like I say, I think this is a keyboard that's great for anybody. If you have 20 keyboards at home, you'll find a use for this keyboard for all the features that are in here. So I think that's the CK in a nutshell.
All right. Well, that was amazing. Blake, thanks for showing me these keyboards. I'm definitely impressed. I didn't realize how deep it went with these. I learned a lot, that's for sure. And I enjoyed playing with you a lot as well.
I always love playing with you, man.
Yeah,
You're a
I mean,
great
we have the jazz nerd thing in our blood. So,
bit.
but anyway, thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions, you can put those in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, all that stuff. You can click here for more videos like this one. And remember, you can go to sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs.